two off lanes to turn right. One will be the continuous, the other will be a metered light.
It's going to be huge.
Call it, yeah.
400,000
turn
square
right,
massive.
and then that way you can have a safer access
400,000
way to
square
get
feet's
to going to
massive.
turn left into West Bench. But yeah, you're right. If you get a bunch of big trucks trying to get off the freeway to turn left, that's a little challenging. So they'll have to use that light to do it. Even Maverick alone's going to face that challenge pretty quick, even without the rebuild.
Well, and I can see people coming off of Riverdale Road, off the freeway onto Riverdale Road and trying to get
Right,
over as
shoot
quick as they
That's why
can.
they'll have to get in that controlled right turn light to then, yeah. Anyway. Sorry.
That'll be good though if they do that.
That clock is wrong.
I know. I was looking. I'm like, what?
dead.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah. Oh, you have battery. Look at you. Taking care of us. Okay, you ready? I'd like to welcome everybody out to our Tuesday, August 24th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. I'd like to note that all the planning commissioners are here with the exception of Rick Herman. There's no public comment, so we'll skip down to presentation and reports. Mr. Eggett.
Thank you. I'll just concisely or as quickly as I can go through everything discussed in the work session. Cafe Rio and Mobetta's and Raising Cane's are facing a little bit of a delay on their project due to some groundwater that's shown up along their access drive east of their buildings. We're hoping to get that area dried out and get a solution for that. Then we may raise some grades of utilities and the roadway in order to, meaning the engineering team may have to redesign it a little bit in order to make that work correctly so the groundwater doesn't negatively impact the utilities and the road itself. So that's being looked at, but it is delaying those projects. Across the street, however, at Dutch Brothers Coffee, it's the opposite story. The building is pretty much completed. They're working on exterior site improvements for that property, and I could see that one. This is just my guess. Don't quote me on it, but I could see that one being open sometime in late September or early October for the public to use it. So that one's moving along well. The Green Hill Apartments swimming pool is coming along, and their pool house, they have their four-ways, so that project's continuing to move along with their new building. And the, what am I missing?
Here's Wanda. We lost her again.
Oh, we did.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
All right, we'll go that route then. And then the joint strategic planning meeting is next Tuesday. Like I said, tentatively we'll say 6 o'clock. We'll let you know more details as we get an agenda figured out and get the timing for that. That will be at the community center is the plan for that. So, and there will be food provided. Again, I think we can probably keep it to an hour and a half, depending on discussion and commentary that night, but it'll be more long-range planning in nature. I think that's everything I talked about in the work session, but if I missed something, please bring it up and let me know. Well, that's everything I have.
Thank you, Mr. Eggett. Consent items, consideration of meeting minutes from August 10th, 2021 work session and August 10th, 2021 regular meeting. Anybody have any problems? Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion. We approve the meeting minutes from August 10th, 2021.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, action items. A brief review and discussion of proposed development agreement language as submitted by Riverdale Commercial Holdings, LLC. Mr. Eggett?
Thank you. And this was discussed at the work session as well. So if you have any follow-up questions, Commissioner Anderson specifically, let me know and I can discuss a little further with you. You can call me even if you need to get a little filled in more. This development agreement is per direction of a state code is found in your packet with the most recent approval in HB 409 regarding development agreements, how we treat development agreements. This development agreement is a land use municipal code request or alteration to our existing municipal code, and as such should be treated like new code or amendments to our existing code. The specific things that are being addressed relative to land use is signage. There's a major change to signage being contemplated here in paragraph 3.4 under signage. You'll see that there's a height request of 80 feet. We have recently been in negotiations with the developers of this project to make that at 60 feet. They seem to have accepted that, and they're going to work on that. And you may see that at a future date in the new language. As well, you will see a sign size of 1,100 square feet. Now, to understand the reason for that, again, just for the sake of the record, and again, discussion, that is in order to accommodate full visibility for retail, commercial uses up in the West Bench RDA area as part of this project. So these signs would be placed along I-15 and I-84 to get motorists' attention, to provide enough time for them to get off freeway where they're able to come and then take advantage of the site. The site is intended to be, oh, she dropped. The site is intended to be a retail/retail distribution center development project. It's the entire area north of the Gibby floral property up to the America First property edge, and then across 1500 west to the property on the hill around the power substation adjacent to the business buildings there. That's the area of this project. It's being called Ellis Orchards, I think Distribution Center, I think is what right now is the name that's been floated around for that. So if you hear that, that's what we're talking about. Okay. This development agreement, as discussed in the work session, is kind of the first step on this project. There is a participation agreement and a resolution that would later have to go to the RDA board as well from the RDA piece. But the city itself, i.e. the planning commission at this point, would be reviewing the development agreement. One thing I noted in the work session is this is a very fluid document. The version you have in your packet is version 2.0. There will be a third version of that forthcoming, we anticipate, in light of the conversations we had on Monday. The other thing to note is there's some statements in there talking about the conditional use permitting and going around that process. That's been discussed and will not be necessary in an update that you will see. So there will be the updated development agreement document that will be found for a future meeting, depending on your decision making and setting a public hearing. We will obviously, like always with any land use city code amendment, need to have the public hearing and then consider a recommendation to city council thereafter. So that's really the long and short of it. I know I went into more of the meat and potatoes during the work session, but again, if you have any other questions for me, let me know. And I think with that, I will defer to the planning commission. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Agate. Let's see. Did I get myself lost? I got myself lost.
I'd like to make a motion. We set the public hearing for the proposed development agreement submitted by Riverdale Commercial Holdings, LLC, for September
14th.
Second.
Should I have a poll?
You could, yeah.
Will you poll the commission, please?
Is she still on the phone? Is she gone again?
She's gone again.
Okay. Commissioner Spires.
Yes.
Commissioner Wingfield.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Commissioner DeMar.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Aye is what I meant to say. Okay. Any discretionary items?
Just one quick thing about discretionary items, that very topic is under discussion and consideration by the city council. It may or may not be on a future agenda, so just be aware of that. If for some reason it was pulled from a future agenda, you could always contact a member of staff and or the chair if there's an item that needs to be addressed or discussed on a future planning commission agenda. We'll see how that goes, but there were some challenges at the last city council meeting regarding the discretionary item on their agenda, so we'll keep you posted where that goes.
But I mean, even if that was with theirs, ours is usually just a comment or something that's brought to the city council. I
Garbage
mean,
can.
we don't have the authority to do an action on a,
It will depend upon the legal direction of our city attorney relative to that and that discussion and what that leads to. It's kind of something that has been a tradition to be on the agenda, but it's become something beyond, I think, what it was intended to, is how I've had it explained to me. So I'll keep you updated.
because
on
I
what
have
happens
people,
with
you
that.
know, ask me to
Right.
forward to the city council and whoever their appreciation for something that was,
And I think there still may be an item to capture that. I just don't know if it will be called discretionary item to allow any kind of dialogue. It might be planning commission report or planning commissioner's report or something like that, a little more narrow in scope, so that we don't get into discussing items without it being an agenda item. I think that's the intent. So just a heads up on that. Other than that, and the strategic planning meeting notice on Tuesday, I don't have anything else, but I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that as that dialogue continues.
Okay.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.